I want to remind you that there is meaning in the mistake. There is meaning to the things that you've experienced and gone through in life. And I use the word mistake very loosely because I understand that there is a purpose behind every single thing that you've gone through in life. I don't believe that we are just walking aimlessly on this earth, bumping into a wall and not knowing what's happening day in and day out. I think that we petition and pray about things, and we don't realize some of the journeys that we're going to have to take in order for that prayer or petition to come to fruition. So if you're asking for a much more healthier body, then chances are you're going to go through some sort of routine or, rigor or nutrition change that's going to get you to that destination. And that's not always going to look pretty, nor is it going to be easy. But when we say that there's meaning to the mistake, it is not only to bring hope, but to remind you that you are not simply just waking up to fog and carelessness and a lack of clarity. There are things that you will have to go through to train you and to fortify you into the person that you desire to be. There are going to be some people that you meet. There are going to be some circumstances and situations that play out that you may not always feel are to your best interest or don't feel good in the moment. But then after that lesson, you begin to realize like, okay, I understand what purpose this served. I understand why I had to meet that person, why I had to go through that, and why I had to experience this. A lot of the times it has nothing to do with the other person, to be quite honest with you, or the situation at large. It is always a deeper, more reflective intuition and a calling for you to sharpen that intuition, to sharpen your discernment, to sharpen your decision making, to be more mindful and aware of who you are and how you are showing up. I've made plenty of mistakes in life, and I'm no exception to the rule. And I know that the things that I thought were mistakes were actually just a divine detour leading me to where I needed to be, and also revealing those parts of me that either needed to be healed or needed to be confronted. And it's so easy to just blame someone else. And it's so easy to blame circumstances and situations. But I feel like when you come from that place, then you are literally playing already a losing game. You're coming from victimhood. You're coming from projecting and believing that it's about someone else and it's because of what someone else did, or it's because of what that job did, or because of what that institution did. And again, I don't want to dismiss any roles that other people play and other things play, right? Because there are people operating from low vibrational places, and we sometimes are just caught in the crossfire. However, if there's meaning in the mistake and there's meaning in that purpose and there's meaning through that journey that you took, then there's something to take from that. And that thing is never to break you. It's never to break your inner confidence. It's never to take you away from your truest and highest self. It's actually in the process of revealing your true and highest self to you. So there is meaning to the mistake. There is meaning to that relationship that failed or the marriage that didn't work out. There is meaning to that friendship that just had to dissolve because you guys were not really moving in the same direction. There's meaning to having to let go of a job. There's meaning behind your body sometimes speaking to you and letting you know that I need something different and we need to do something different, or I need healing in this area. Like, I truly believe that there is a synchronized rhythm that we're a part of, and we are taught to so dismiss it because we're in a society that's always on the go, and we are easily directed towards things that are giving us the quick dopamine fix, but not allowing us to truly look within and sit in silence and reveal the parts of us that need a set number of things like healing and reflection and attention, and also forgiveness and grace and compassion. So there is meaning to the mistake that you feel like you've had. There actually isn't a mistake. It's simply your initiation. It's your rites of passage. It is showing you exactly what you do want and what you don't want. And I remember reading somewhere that said, once you know what you do want, you know what you don't want. And once you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. And although it sounds simple, there are certain things that we have to go through that will show us what we want and what we genuinely don't want. I mean, raise your hand if you look back in life and realize, like, what was I doing at that time? I'm a totally different person. What made me or what caused me to make that decision? So there is meaning in the mistake. Please don't beat yourself down or even invite a lack of confidence or begin to reinforce traits that are not in line with who you are becoming. And who you are becoming is someone who can make sound decisions. Who you are becoming is someone who's gaining clarity day by day. Who you are becoming is someone who understands that it's not a blame game and it's not about other people or other things, but it's always a way back home to yourself. It's always a better level of introspection on the inside where you are trusting who you are. You are trusting where you're being led, and that you know that you're not alone on this journey. I know that I'm not alone on this journey. I know that God and my ancestors are all with me, guiding me and leading me. And I trust that. I genuinely trust that. And so I want to just charge you and empower you and encourage you to remember that there is meaning in the mistake that you feel like you've been through. It is actually not a mistake. It is simply your momentum, your groove, your ability to navigate and shift through things, and to trust that you are being called for a greater and higher purpose. And once you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. And there are things that I do want to point out. There are things that we ask for that we don't always prepare ourselves for. So when you ask for a certain thing, you have to ask yourself, are you prepared for that thing, if we're going to be honest? And that honesty and that deep reflection really causes you to make a wiser decision. It's like going out to purchase a vehicle that may be over your ability to pay, or it exceeds your expenses, right? Like it's something that you just can't manage. And so you wouldn't invite that into your world because you know that it would probably stress you out, or it would cause you to move in a space of franticness, right? Like you're just you're frantic about the things that you are trying to pay for. And so God never wants you in that space of lack or of stress or depletion. It's always an invitation to rise higher and to do better. It's always an invitation to see above the situation and recognize that you're being trained and you're being fortified. It's kind of like school, right? And life is a bit of a school. Once you pass a test, you can move on to the next part of your journey. So there is meaning to the mistake. And we're going to use the air quotes with that because it's not a mistake. You're simply just being rerouted, refortified, and led to where you're supposed to be. So be mindful about what it is that you're asking for, and to continue to follow up with questions like, am I ready for this? Am I prepared for this? What are areas within me that need to be healed, that need to be strengthened, that need to usher in a little bit more consistency in order for me to move forward with this decision, or move forward with this a new adventure in life? So again, there is meaning to the mistake, and give yourself some grace and some love and compassion, because we are genuinely learning and walking ourselves through this process of life that we've never been given a manual for. So trust that, believe that, and stay focused and stay centered on what you truly want and what you truly desire, and know that what you desire also desires you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for clicking on the video, and thank you for listening. I am Demi Dabadie. If you need any additional resources, check the description below. I'll see you next time.